Hello, welcome back to yet another live stream. Um, Yet again by myself. As I said, this is more of a hobby than anything on my last live stream. If you've seen that or not, um, if you haven't, so be it. If this is your first time watching, welcome. I'll do live streams every once in a while whenever I have a thought in my mind I want to express, or I just want to stream games, or just have a good time with my friends and let people enjoy it. It's all if they want to, all if you want to. I don't care if I get a lot of views or not. I don't care if there's a lot of people that see this shit. And, it's more of just like a hobby type of thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's all if they want to. All if you want to. I don't care if I get a lot of views. I titled the video or this live stream of "Is it all worth it?" Because a lot of the times, you do question of like, is it all worth it? Is what I'm doing worth the time? Is who I am worth it to other people? It's like it's a broad question of, is it all worth it? I ask myself this question all the fucking time. Is it worth it what I'm doing? Is it worth it the reaction I'm giving? Is it worth it like the time I'm putting in, the effort I'm putting in? The conversation I'm having with this person, is it all worth it? It's a common question people ask themselves. And the reality of the matter is like there's no real answer. You know, there's not a stipulation there. There's not a rule to it. It's not like, is it all worth it? Yes, it's all worth it. Yeah, no, it's not all worth it. You never know. That answer doesn't come until later on. I was feeling that question earlier in my head when I was at work. I was like, is what I'm doing worth it? Is how I am the way I am worth it? Am I benefiting people? Am I not benefiting people? It's like, I don't know. Do people find me fun? Do people not find me fun? Do people find me annoying? Do people not find me annoying? Like, do I fit in? Do I not fit in? It's like, I don't. And that the last one, like, do I fit in or do I not fit in? I don't care if I fit in or not. I'm myself. I'm not going to change myself. I've done it in the past where I've changed myself for other people, and it never works out. It creates a bigger issue with you and yourself. You create this image in your head and this image for other people, and all you do is just you hide who you really are inside. So at work, it's like I am myself at work. I don't question, am I cool with other people or not? Do I fit in or not? Like, I do my own thing. People don't like it, so what? I don't care. You know, it's like everybody lives their lives differently. Everybody lives their lives completely, completely different. You know, and nobody has the same experiences. Everybody has a different experience. Similar, yes, sure, that applies, but not the same. Nobody can say they have the exact same experience. Nobody. Like, an example, I go to a burn camp every year because I myself am a burn victim from when I was 11 years old, and it's a traumatic experience to go through. But I don't compare it to other burn victims I've met. My friends and family at burn camp that I've met over the years, I don't compare my experience to theirs because it's uncomparable. It's one of those things that's like, it's a similar experience, but completely different. Everybody experiences something different, you know? And yeah, I regret that experience that I went through, but I went through it. It's in the past. I can't live on it 24/7. I can't be burdened by it 24/7. It is what it is. It's in the past. I have to move on. I have to acknowledge the fact of it was a moment that happened, and I did gain a benefit of having another family, of people that have experienced similar experiences to me, you know. So was it worth it? Yes and no. The pain wasn't worth it. The 9 weeks of being in a hospital wasn't worth it. The relearning how to walk again wasn't worth it. All the exercise wasn't worth it. but was the knowledge I've learned and the people I've gained from it worth it? Yeah, entirely, tenfold. You know, I wouldn't be the same person I am now if it wasn't for those people I met because of stupid mistake I made when I was a kid. You know, so the question of, is it worth it? Yeah, it is. Every chance you make, every risk you take, it's all worth it. Whether it gives you a benefit or a consequence, you know, it's worth it because you learn something from that, good or bad. You learn something about yourself. You learn something about other people. You learn something entirely. There is no loss to it. It's just a learning experience. There's nothing wrong with it. And a lot of people tell you there's something wrong with it, but there's not, you know? Everybody has to learn something one way or the other. You know, you don't want to learn the hard way, but sometimes you have to learn the hard way. I mean, I had to learn the hard way for me to get my shit straight. For me to get my head in the right mindset, in the right area to think more logically and to think more responsibly. And yeah, I still made my mistakes. Everybody's going to make mistakes regardless of how perfect or how well off their mind is. You know, everybody has mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. You know, it's not something you can avoid. Nobody's perfect. You know, at the end of the day, everybody has done something, one way or the other, that they regret. And you know what's there's nothing wrong with it as long as you acknowledge that you made that mistake and that you were in the wrong and that you accept that you are wrong. Then there's nothing to hold yourself on about it. You know, it's there's stipulations, sure, and there's definitely like obviously like whoa, that's not acceptable type of things. Like yeah, but acknowledging the fact of you were wrong, you don't accept what you did, and you try to better yourself from that is always for the better, and always is a fact that you want to acknowledge. You know, I don't know. It's trying to do this by myself is hard a little bit because I'm speaking my mind, and my mind can sometimes get lost and off track. When I have other people here, they kind of like keep my mind focused on it because of the fact of I need to stay focused on it and whatnot. But I don't know. You know, I regret what I've done in the past. I've made some mistakes for sure. You know, but in that same note, is I don't let it affect my daily basis. I don't let it ruin my mind or like ruin myself every day. You know what I mean? It's hard to really fully express and explain to other people without sounding like I don't accept the bad I've done. You know, it's like I do, like I do entirely, but how do I explain that to somebody else? You know, how do I just how do I don't, I'm just like, yeah, I made this mistake. You know, you either accept it or you don't. It's like, I mean, that's one way to do it. Like, yeah, it is one way to do it entirely. But sometimes you just really question, like, fuck, is it worth it? Was it? Sometimes it's not at all. Drop it. Sorry, my dog was being a dog. You know what I mean? Chewing on things he shouldn't be because he's a dog. But it's like sometimes you're gonna question yourself. Is it worth it with this person, or is it worth it with this job? Is it worth it with my family? Is it worth it with my friends? It's so hard to ask somebody else, hey, do you think it's worth it for me to still be friends with this person? Or do you think it's worth this or this or this to do this, this, and this? And the thing is like, they're their own person and you're your own person. So you can't ask other people, be like, hey, is it worth it if I do this? Or hey, is it worth it if I fucking say this or act on this or do this or do that? It's like, dude, it's so hard to answer that question when you get asked it, because it's like, it's not your life. You have your own way of going about it. They have their own way of going about it. So it's like, you can give your own answer, but maybe that's not what they want to hear. Maybe that's something else. Maybe they want to hear something else, or maybe they wanted to do something else about it. It's like, what do you do then? Like, what do you really do? It gets hard, and you sit there and you're like, ah, fuck. It's like, all right, well, I'm here now. It's like, I'm doing what I'm doing now. You know, I think a lot of people overthink a lot of things, and that's my own thought. That's 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 me saying that. That's not like anybody else. That's it's entirely me. Like, that's my thought process. It's like, people are so worried about other people doing other things, and people are so stuck in their mind about other people's opinions that it overrides them and over makes them go into this phase of self doubt and self deprecation because of the fact of they don't know how else to think. They're used to other people telling them how to think, or they're so used to asking you for your opinion, and it's like, dude, like, I'm myself. You can ask me for my opinion, but it will not always be in line with yours. It's like, I don't want to tell you what to do. It's your life, not mine. I don't want to live your life for you. I want you to live your life on your own. It's like, I hate when people ask me, like, what do I do in this scenario? It's like, dude, fuck if I know. What do you feel like doing? What is your thought process on it? You yourself need to figure that out. You need to figure out what you want to do and what not to do. I can't tell you that. That's all on you. I can give you my opinion on what I would do. Am I telling you to do what I would do? No. You want to know why? Because that's what I would do myself. Is that what you would do? I don't know. Is that how you feel about it? I don't know. Is that my opinion to make for you? No. But I can try to help you figure out what you want to do. That's another thing too, is like, people ask you a question, it's like, what do I do? It's like, I don't know. What do you think you would do? And they give you a breakdown, and it's like, well, then fucking do it. If you can give me a breakdown on what you would do, then do that. Why are you asking other people to what you should do? Everybody has their own opinions about it. What what does it what does it matter, our opinions on what you do with your life? It shouldn't. Like, it shouldn't, but it does. Sometimes that's just inevitable. It I don't know. The question of, is it all worth it, is such a vague question to ask, but it is a question that's asked a lot. Is it all worth it? I've asked myself that so many times, and every time I think of the matter of, like, it is. Might not see it now, but it is. It might piss me off, but it's still worth it at the end of the day. It might it might eat at my brain, but at the end of the day, it is worth it. It's just I want people to just do them, be themselves, and do their own thing. I feel like that would be beneficial for everyone. Is it gonna happen? Nah, it's not a guarantee. I can wish for it though. I can hope for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's like I don't know. Who knows? Maybe this is a short stream. Maybe this isn't. Maybe this won't be an hour-long stream because I have, or a 30-minute stream because I have nothing to talk about anymore. I guess it's just like I guess I answered my own thing of like I talked about my own topic I wanted to talk about. Of is it all worth it? It kind of sucks sometimes. It just kind of sucks sometimes. And I mean, it kind of sucks sometimes because sometimes I wish people would just indulge the thought or indulge the fuck. Yeah, I don't know. Indulge my thought process, I guess. Not everybody does. Not everybody will. It's a thing that's going to happen. Who knows? You know. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, this what 20-minute video or 20-minute live stream gave you a bit of thought process on like questioning of is it all worth it? Maybe it fried your brain a little bit. Made you want to think on it a little bit more of like, that's what I want. It's like that's what I'm hoping for. I want people to think for themselves more often, I guess, or try to do better for themselves in their mind, have a better mindset for things. You know what I mean? But like I said, you can't force anything. It's all up to the person themselves. So you only can hope. But as I hope this gave people some thoughts or some thinking topics, something for them to rattle their brains with, a little bit. I hope everybody has a good night, or a good evening, or a good morning, however, whenever you're watching this. I just want people to start thinking of the question for themselves of, is it worth it? And if it is, or if it's not, why? You're not asking yourself just is it or is it not. You're asking yourself of why is it or why is it not. Because then and only then do you really get a good grasp on yourself and where your mind's at in that thought process. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a fucking genius. I'm not a philosopher. I'm just some guy who likes to speak his mind. And hopefully sometimes that mind can benefit others. Who knows? I guess we'll all find out. But I hope everybody has a good night, evening, morning, whatever it is. I hope you enjoyed listening to my rambles of random bullshit, because sometimes that is just something I do. Everybody have a good night, good morning, good evening, and it is worth taking the chance sometimes. I will say that. In my opinion. It's my opinion. I think it's always worth taking the chance and finding out the consequence or the benefit without not knowing. That's all I'm going to say. I hope everybody enjoyed my little rambles, and I'll see you next time.